biblical tales, God floods the earth, sparing Noah, his family, and 2 of every animal on board his ark.
Now, an international team of researchers have found new evidence that a famous formation in Turkey could be the site of the ancient vessel.
Scientists have finally stepped inside a mysterious structure long rumored to be Noah's Ark, and what they uncovered was astonishing.
The book of Genesis says Noah landed here, in the mountains of Ararat. So, could this really be Noah's Ark?
Before we continue, take a moment to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the discoveries, stories, and revelations that are reshaping our understanding of human history. For years, people argued over whether the Ark was pure legend or a relic lost somewhere in the mountains. Then a quiet breakthrough in Turkey set the world buzzing, drawing researchers, believers, and the simply curious into a shared moment of awe. Researchers now claim they have uncovered compelling evidence that the story of Noah's Ark was not merely a cautionary tale about forsaking God, but a verifiable historical event. Buried beneath layers of soil, radar scans exposed a massive ship-shaped form that hinted at something extraordinary. It wasn't definitive proof, but it opened a door no one expected, where faith, history, and science seemed to collide in the same breath. What in the world would a boat be doing way up there? As excavations deepened and debates intensified, global attention locked onto the site, sensing that this discovery could reshape how we view some of humanity's oldest stories. Suddenly, the worldwide tradition of a global flood stopped being just a myth and started feeling like a memory. Now we explore what scientists found inside. The mountain that shouldn't have a ship, discovering the Ark. The story truly exploded when the headlines hit. 3D scans reveal boat-like formation matching biblical descriptions of Noah's Ark. Archaeologists admitted it sounded almost unreal, like something from a late-night documentary, not mainstream news. Yet there it was. Using high-tech ground-penetrating radar, scientists revealed something suspiciously boat-shaped buried deep within the mountains of eastern Turkey. Not just vaguely ship-like. The scans showed parallel lines, right angles, and long uniform structures that strangely matched measurements described in ancient texts. Could it be? Has someone actually found Noah's Ark? For generations, the idea of a giant ancient ship resting near Mount Ararat hovered between folklore and fascination. Locals told stories, explorers whispered about strange beams and buried shapes. But to most people, the Ark was something told around campfires, not an object anyone expected to see. Everything changed when modern researchers decided to stop treating the rumors like fairy tales and start treating them like data. The mountain they chose wasn't a gentle hill. Mount Tenderek is harsh, jagged, and volcanic, part of the rugged terrain surrounding the more famous Mount Ararat. Far from cities, tucked into dry, unforgiving slopes, it's exactly the kind of place where secrets could hide for thousands of years. From above, using decades-old aerial photography, the land appeared carved into a long oval, perfectly oval, almost like the outline of a massive ship that had sunk into the earth and fossilized. Locals had pointed it out for generations, insisting the shape had always been there. This formation gained a name, the Durupunar Site, a natural-looking ridge over 500 feet long, remarkably close to the Ark's biblical dimensions, enough to raise eyebrows, but not enough to shout Eureka. Eventually, curiosity won. A research team arrived, not with ropes and shovels, but with instruments that could see beneath the ground. This wasn't the first visit to Durupinar, but technology had finally caught up. Armed with ground-penetrating radar and 3D subsurface imaging, researchers expected chaos, broken rock, irregular layers, randomness. Nature thrives on disorder. What appeared on their screens was anything but random. Long straight lines, precise angles, layered sections stacked like floors, symmetrical compartments. Nature rarely draws straight lines unless something very strange is happening. The formation didn't look accidental, it looked designed. Even more unsettling, its internal measurements lined up eerily well with ancient descriptions of the Ark. Not exact, but close enough to make hearts race. Then came the soil samples. The soil inside the formation differed dramatically from the soil outside it. It contained more organic material, traces consistent with decayed wood. Mineral balances were different. Even the vegetation growing above the formation looked subtly altered, as if the earth itself remembered something buried below. And the surprises didn't stop there. Scattered around the site were massive stone slabs with holes carved near their tops, resembling ancient anchor stones. Some early explorers believed they were used to stabilize a massive vessel against violent currents. Locals insisted these stones had always been there, passed down through generations of stories. Stories of strange objects revealed after storms, petrified wood found high in the mountains, iron-like streaks embedded in the soil. Nothing conclusive alone, but enough clues to keep the mystery alive. Some explorers claimed to find long, flat, petrified segments resembling planks. Others described metallic remnants as if something once reinforced the structure. These claims were debated, but they fueled continued interest. Even the Turkish government took notice. The site became a protected national park, not because it was declared Noah's Ark, but because of its immense historical value. Then came the deepest probe yet. Researchers drilled carefully, lowering specialized cameras into narrow underground spaces. They expected darkness, just dirt and stone. Instead, the cameras revealed something that caused a global stir. Inside were repeating structural patterns, sharp-edged cavities, and distinct divisions, spaces resembling rooms or compartments. Nothing definitive, but enough to say this wasn't behaving like natural rock. Scientists remained cautious, no dramatic declarations. More testing was needed. But the mystery only grew. The formation wasn't acting like ordinary stone, the soil wasn't normal, and the interior didn't resemble random geology. Something was buried there. And long before modern scanners reignited interest, one man claimed he had already found it. Ron Wyatt, the man who went looking for miracles. Ron Wyatt wasn't an archaeologist or academic. He was a nurse anesthetist from Tennessee. Yet to his supporters, he became God's archaeologist, a man driven to chase biblical mysteries across deserts and mountains. His journey began with a single photograph in Life magazine, a strange boat-shaped outline in eastern Turkey. While others glanced and moved on, Wyatt couldn't let it go. What if it was real? That question launched a 22-year quest. To followers, Wyatt was a real-life Indiana Jones. To skeptics, a well-meaning dreamer. But no one denied his determination. Wyatt claims to have discovered nearly 100 biblical relics, including Noah's Ark, the Ark of the Covenant, Goliath's sword, the Ten Commandments, and even what he believed was the dried blood of Jesus. Supporters were thrilled. Academics were furious. Critics argued the Durupunar formation was entirely natural, shaped by erosion and fault lines, not carpentry. They questioned Wyatt's lack of formal training and reliance on intuition. Supporters countered that he was dismissed due to bias, not evidence. Hero or heretic, Wyatt reignited a debate that still burns. The flood story appears in nearly 200 cultures worldwide. From Mesopotamia to the Americas, humanity tells the same tale of destruction and survival. If something truly happened, could it have left physical traces? For centuries, explorers claimed sightings, wooden beams in ice, ship-like silhouettes from the air. Many were dismissed, some debunked, but none erased the mystery. Then, in 1959, Turkish Army Captain İlhan Durupunar spotted the now famous formation during an aerial survey. The photos spread worldwide. Geologists initially declared it natural, case closed, until technology reopened it. What sets today's investigation apart is data, not eyewitness stories or blurry photos. Radar scans reveal structured patterns 8 to 20 feet underground. Soil chemistry differs. Organic traces remain. Not proof, but the strongest evidence yet. Whether the answer lies beneath a mountain or beneath the sea, one truth is undeniable. The story of Noah still grips the world. The discovery didn't just spark curiosity, it united believers and skeptics in wonder. Faith met science, history met imagination, and whatever lies beneath that mountain, ARK or not, the Earth has reminded us of something powerful. The past is still speaking. Please click the cards on the screen now for more interesting content.